My roommate took my photos, stalked my boyfriend, and sent him fake texts. Then I found her in my room wearing my lingerie and my heart stopped. Roommate Emily has called my boyfriend Ethan our boyfriend for 2 weeks. Thought it was a joke. Very scared. Dated Ethan for 7 months. His university is an hour away, but he visits every 2 weeks for 4 or 5 days. My roommates first agreed. Cleaning, cooking, and maintenance are his jobs. Perfect guy ditched Emily in September. Then everything changed. Started small. As a courtesy, Emily waited in the kitchen while Ethan cooked dinner for me and my housemates. Good dude, my ex couldn't. Lucky you. She expected more from him. She witnessed his strength lifting furniture, hooking, and mending. So strong. My man must. Ethan fled to my room, uneasy. Jokes about our boyfriend followed. Ethan gave me coffee and Emily said, our boyfriend is so thoughtful. He helped with groceries. Check out our guy helping. I told her it's not funny. A joke. Sisters share everything, right? Our roommates. Sharing a fridge, not affection. Behavior improved. Then she followed. Safety comes via location sharing software. If Ethan and I went out, Emily would text, "Where are you guys? Can I join?" and show there if nobody answered. Emily said she met us at movies, restaurants, and a romantic park walk. She entered my bedroom without knocking, so we locked it. Hi man. If we forgot, she'd chirp. Roommates partied after midterms. Drunk, I called Ethan. Emily stole my phone. Her strength outshines mine. She told him about sex. She laughed and ordered him to swat deep while quiet. What? Tired of women talking about our boyfriend? Ethan visited less. Arriving, he hardly left my room. At my door was Emily. Sometimes I heard her breathing. The breaking point came last week. Ethan surprised me in class on our 7-month anniversary. My roommate Maya texted, "Your boyfriend's here, but something weird is happening." I ran home to find Emily wearing my lingerie on my bed and Ethan cowering against the wall. What the hell? Emily stood slowly, my crimson lace too tiny. He saw how much I miss you. Get out. Get out. She smiles. Also my apartment. He seemed unconcerned. Do you, Ethan? Ethan shivered and whispered, "Leave me." I was waiting for Sophie when you entered. No door lock. Kind of an invite? Emily is on the lease, but I phoned our landlord that night. I cannot evict her. Campus security said it's a non-violent roommate dispute. Ethan said he couldn't visit the day before. She wore your underpants last time, scaring me. What's next? It stung, but I understood. Emily damaged our friendship. Emily used my laptop in my room again yesterday. She found Ethan and my photographs. I took intimate photos with you. Private, not stated. Give up my PC. These suit my hubby. Made copies for myself. Pardon me. That's unlawful. Calling cops. What proof? My phone has these. Might have taken them anywhere. Maybe Ethan gave me those. Ours may be unique. He never would. People trust whom? Angry girlfriend or roommate with photos? I noticed something else on my laptop. Opening an unwritten email draft. To Ethan. Leaving. Yelling. Emily wrote it as me, but I didn't mail it. But I could. I know your password. Alter your birthday. That night, I updated all my passwords. Lock my bedroom for me alone. A message was under my door this morning. Locks won't keep me from our boy. Check your phone. Ethan received 2 a.m. I texted to discuss. To your unit tomorrow. News. KNC. Unsent text. Sleeping. I kept my phone overnight. Ethan's reply. Who's C? Her reason for coming. What's up, Sophie? He ignored my call. Emily's gone. A automobile exited her lot. It takes 1.5 hours to reach Ethan's U. She departed 2 hours ago. Not sure what she's telling him. As I call Ethan again, I shiver and nearly drop my phone. Voicemail number 4. 20 minutes had passed for Emily at university. No idea what she's saying or doing. My hands slide on the screen as I call again. Jammed. Like the walls are closing. While walking from the kitchen to the living room and back, I check the GPS app every few seconds. Emily's dot stays on Ethan's dorm. Airflow is limited and my chest is constricted. What's she telling him? Did he receive duplicate photos? Was she sent by me? False. We told him something. Like a team. Repeating calls get voicemail. Emily may have broken his phone or ignored my calls. No option helps. Maya leaves her room in pajamas at midday. Her eyes widen when she sees me pacing the living room. I must appear mad. Going mad. Event explanation. I doubt the rapid-fire words make sense. Fake text. Emily left 2 hours ago. No word from Ethan. Listening pales Maya. She sits shakily on the sofa. She says Emily has been talking about Ethan and looking through my stuff in class. Stomach drops. Maya knew but never told me. She thinks Emily listened outside my locked bedroom door. Ethan is mentioned by Emily alone. Last week, Maya saw Emily holding my things and peered in my wardrobe mirror. Maya considered speaking but didn't want issues. Drama. It's hardly the worst drama. Instant choice. Despite Ethan's school being an hour away and my test tomorrow, I'm going. Forget exams. Ethan must be contacted before Emily causes further damage. My gratitude for Maya's help makes me cry. I'm nervous driving alone. Shaking hands distract me from the road. I can call Ethan while Maya drives. I take my keys, phone and wallet as she dresses in her room. Packing nothing else. I ignore our arrival plans. Must leave. Within 15 minutes, we drive. I call Ethan and check Emily's app as Maya drives. Is Emily at Ethan's room? Her phone suggests she's in his dorm. Is his roommate talked to? Wait in the lobby. Nobody moves the dot. Sat target-like. I call Ethan again. Voicemail. Tried texting. No reply. I target Ethan's dorm on the GPS app. A dot exists. Emily's there. I examine our position zooming out. Just 10 kilometers from our apartment. Driving takes ages. Maya merges onto the freeway as I count miles. 120 miles remaining. 1.5 hours felt long. Maya tells me she's watching Emily because she's worried. I get dates, times, and details from her phone during red lights. Emily was outside my closed door. Strange statements about sharing everything. Emily obsesses with my location. Maya has weekly page notes. She regrets not telling me sooner but didn't want problems. Once more, drama. Don't worry, I missed the signs too. Emily seemed odd and lonely after her split. Notes from Maya verify it. This transcends roommate craziness. Riskier, worse. When Ethan messages me an hour into the journey, I grab my phone so fast I almost drop it with the buzz. It chills me that your roommate told my RA you sent her to check on my mental health. It's ludicrous. Where are you? Read 3 times. Emily claims I sent her. Her false text verifies. She makes me appear like the nervous or domineering girlfriend who sends people to check on her guy while she looks like the concerned friend. Type back, shaking hands. I texted Emily immediately to say she sent the message from my phone without authorization. On my way. I describe waking up to the text, Emily leaving 2 hours earlier, and my calls to him. Texting, screen watching. 3 dots, Ethan types. They vanish, they return. The reply arrives. Emily is smarter than unstable, making her scary. That terrifies me. Emily's calm. She specializes in it. She wore my undies calmly. She silently copied my images. She stays calm despite her flaws. Her scariness stems from that. Maya advises I record everything on my phone at a petrol stop. Emily's phony text, location history, and behavior shifting screenshots. If this goes to court, she argues, we need evidence, a legal issue. That wasn't considered. I concur with Maya. Next exit, park at a gas station. Maya drinks coffee inside as I snap screenshots. M was spotted at Ethan's campus in the morning. False 2 a.m., text screenshot. Timestamp. Emily's prior texts calling Ethan were screenshotted. I take what I can. I have proof in my picture album. Maya offers coffee and helps me file. We utilize today's date. Near nightfall, we reach Ethan's campus. Wonderful orange and pink sky, yet I disregard it. My fingers shake again as we park outside his dorm. Ethan texts that Emily is in the common area discussing our relationship with Lucas, his roommate, like my agent. An official, I concurred. Sent her. Not well. Maya touches my arm and asks if I'm ready. We leave the car despite my unreadiness. Maya enters the dorm with me. Left of the glass doors is the community room. Emily and Lucas are on a couch when I see them. They chuckle like old pals. Emily wears makeup, sweater and down hair. She appears normal. She appears kind. Lucas smiles at her words. Emily's expression alters as I arrive. A friendly grin disappears. Never before has she looked so evil. Lucas looks at me perplexed by her slow rise. Emily has steely eyes and delicate lips. She appears unfazed. She's upset I came. Shouts across the room. Student laptop users glance up. She stands slowly with a piercing grin. Thank goodness Sophie arrived. Do we need an honest Ethan talk? Her words indicate group planning. Heads turn. Girl at window whispers to pal. My face heats up and others look. No more we. You must go. You weren't invited. I talked calmly despite shaking. Amy tilts her head like I said something amusing. I was excited to meet Ethan. Our discussion of your issues was wonderful. Now he gets it. Looking at Ethan while she talks. Flush and retreat, Ethan. He seems unwell and uncomfortable. Lucas is confused. I asked Emily to leave 6 times. Ethan joins me. You concerned about Sophie and needed to check. You wouldn't. I perceive anxiety in his loud voice. Lucas nods with arms crossed. She arrived maybe an hour ago. She seemed regular, so I believed she was your buddy, but every time we asked her to go, she changed the subject or said she needed 5 more minutes. Lucas had fully lost his welcoming smile. Examining Emily. Maya shows Lucas her phone. While conversing, she swipes screenshots. Emily follows them for months. She appears wherever their location app leads them. She illegally enters Sophie's room. About 2 a.m., she lied. Phone text from Sophie. Maya swipes more odd text picture. Restaurant and movie appearances by Emily. Lucas carefully examines the facts. All his body language changes. He turns from Emily and looks at her differently. Emily loses her calm, mouth tightens, and eyes narrow. Everyone hypes this. Ethan should know Sophie criticizes him overseas. She always wishes he went to this school instead of 1 hour away. She finds you clingy. She confronts Ethan when she says that. She asked me here to break up with you out of fear. Her voice becomes louder with each phrase. Ethan dims. Get my phone and check email. I need 3 tries to find the folder because my hands quiver. On TV, I face Ethan. See this. Emily typed this on my laptop directly. I never wrote it. The draft email mentioning Ethan's undesirable traits stays. Unspoken words. Ethan examines my phone. His visage changes from sad to bewildered to enraged in 10 seconds. He glances up at Emily. You authored it? You wrote a bogus breakup email on her computer. His voice has altered. Harder. Lucas reads over his shoulder and speaks. Someone must have called the residential advisor because she enters serious. She has a staff badge and is tall with pushed back brown hair. What's up? A disturbance was reported. As I explain, my words blur. Maya shows the RA screenshots from her phone. Ethan shows her a fake email. Lucas says Emily refused many leave requests. Looks earnest as she listens. She faces Emily. Get out of this building swiftly. You're not a student or welcome. Arms crossed, Emily. I can visit a friend's campus, public university. Her voice elevates. I won't leave to discuss. An RA pulls out her radio. Campus security reacts promptly. 2 uniformed officers. While showing Maya's phone, the RA explains. Emily is invited outside by 1 officer. Emily shouts and flushes. It's ludicrous. Sophie is pushing everyone against me because she can't stand Ethan liking me more. People in the common area film and look on their phones. Each of you will regret this. Each of you. As the security guard walks her to the door, she gestures at me. She takes her arm away but leaves. Sophie, you ruined everything. Everything. Her voice booms over the common area as she pushes through the glass doors. From outside we see her race to her car in the parking lot. The guard watches from distance to ensure she leaves. We hear her vehicle door bang as she arrives. Her tires shriek when she leaves. Returning security collects our statements. He writes everything in a little notebook. Speech makes Ethan's hands quiver. Emily expressed care and kindness concerning his schoolwork and housemates. She said inappropriate things. University library, biology professor, workout. Since we rarely talk about my routine, Sophie never told her. She must have seen our messages. His voice snaps. A security officer writes faster. Back inside, we see Ethan's room. Lucas promises privacy and visits the library. Head in hands, Ethan sits on his bed, shook all over. He leans against me as we sit. She told me you were sobbing and talked about breaking up on the sofa, upsetting her. Because you were unhappy to come, she stated you sent her to check on me. She appeared sincere and almost convinced me. When she revealed my schedule, I felt strange. She knew I had Tuesday and Thursday chemistry labs. My science building lunch spot was familiar to her. How could she know? His eyes were damp. Stomach drops. Checking phone settings. I must reset all passwords now. Social networking, email, everything. Assistance from Ethan. Account after account. My 2-week Emily IP address login history surprises me. My emails are analyzed for a month. Everything I said to Ethan, called my sister and wrote Maya complaining. Ethan finds additional proof in my cloud. Emily saw my pics. The private ones. For me and Ethan. I claim she's everywhere. Voice is distant. Checking email login history. There are access points from places I've never studied or slept. Emily reads everything for weeks. The design is in my picture storage when Ethan opens it. Her device downloaded my private photos often. My shaky hands nearly dropped my phone. Ethan takes it from me and checks. My social media suggests she's online. Reading my love letters. She knows my whole life. Every discussion, goal, every private notion shared with trusted people. After exiting the library, Lucas knocks. Lucas arrives when Ethan lets him in and finds us on the bed with phones and computers. He seems serious as we give our findings. His phone's login and access history is photographed. He demands we capture everything before Emily hides or destroys evidence. Maya texts to check on us, and I tell her what we found. She instantly claims she feels watched, like someone is looking through her possessions when she's away. Now she'll examine her finances. Ethan finds an uncreated cloud storage record. His daily and hourly classes are noted. College library shifts, buddies, roommates, gym, dining hall, coffee shop and routine orders. After Emily was thrown, the paper was 2 months old. A planner, she's tracked his habits. Lucas reads over Ethan's shoulder and adds, "This is serious stalking behavior, not just a roommate being weird or jealous." He suggests reporting this level of watching and plotting to university police. Almost midnight, yet I'm afraid to wait till morning. What if Emily returns tonight? Suppose she performs worse with us watching. Lucas suggests sleeping on university commons sofas for safety and community. Maya texts saying she's sleeping at her girlfriend's house tonight since she feels uneasy at the flat. Ethan agrees immediately. With proof, we seize phones and laptops. Lucas shows us where students study late. The site feels safer with hourly security patrols. Ethan and I share a sofa with Maya. Lucas brings drinks and blankets from his room, unable to sleep. Our phones and evidence are continually watched. Ethan is worried after the lingerie incident. Being unable to terminate my lease or leave, he didn't make me pick between him and my living condition. He can't sleep or focus since Emily could knock on his door or follow him to school. He regrets not being more direct about his worry, but he didn't want to appear dramatic. I shouldn't have overreacted and took it more seriously. We reviewed disregarded or rationalized warning indicators for hours. Breathing outside my door, continual location checking, and Emily forcing herself into every aspect of our relationship and constantly knowing where we were and what we were doing. Fearing Emily's behavior, Ethan stopped seeing me. Ethan and I watch the sunrise through the windows as Lucas rests on a chair nearby. Early classrooms and eating halls attract students with morning light. Tired but anxious. I seek my older sister Lily for sane advice from outside this maelstrom. She's nervous on the second ring since I rarely call early. Emily drove here uninvited, and we found stalker evidence yesterday and last night. I conclude with Lily silently listening. She says this behavior recalls stalker instances she encountered in psychology graduate school. She believes stalkers increase when victims withdraw or restrict. Monitoring and collecting data becomes obsession without aid. She asks whether I called police, and I say we're going this morning. Lily intends to descend in a few hours. She wants to review everything with us and decide future actions. Do not return to the apartment alone and wait for her in public. After Ethan awakens Maya, we drink campus cafe coffee. We watch pedestrians from a window table. Lucas comes and we review, taking screenshots and taping. After the trip, Lily is tired but focused by lunch. She hugs me tightly and joins us at the table. Emily sees my accounts and Ethan's documents. Lily produces a notebook timeline with dates and data. She thinks stalking should rise. Single events may appear insignificant, but patterns demonstrate obsession. Emily says her behavior has become more intrusive and obvious. From remarks and following to accessing my accounts and suddenly visiting Ethan's campus. Lily. Emily's thorough surveillance dossier on Ethan shows premeditation, which courts take seriously. Contact campus police this afternoon. Lucas volunteers to testify after watching Emily refuse to leave yesterday and hearing her threaten. Officer Thompson questions us in a small room in the administrative building's police department. His calm, professional demeanor soothes me as I describe the situation to Lily, who takes notes to prevent missing anything. Officer Thompson listens carefully and asks about dates and times. Lucas explains Emily's refusal to leave after multiple requests yesterday. Ethan expresses his concern and how Emily's behavior has impacted his functioning. After writing a detailed report, Officer Thompson says stalking cases are hard to prosecute, but the evidence we have is strong, especially the digital footprint showing unauthorized access to my accounts and the surveillance file. The 2-month pattern of behavior could support a restraining order. He advises storing all texts, emails and messages, tracking Emily's appearance, and collecting images or videos to establish harassment. Officer Thompson documents all our evidence and says he'll work with my campus's police department as Emily and I live in the same jurisdiction. He gives me his direct number and tells me to call immediately if Emily calls or shows up. He suggests I talk to campus housing about my living situation because sharing an apartment with someone like this is unsafe. Leaving the police station, I'm relieved we reported everything, but terrified of what happens next. Lily says I did the right thing, even though it's scary. Ethan looks exhausted and worried. Maya says Emily hasn't returned to her apartment, but some of her belongings have been moved. Lily insists she'll stay with me for a few days to make sure I'm safe. The 1.5-hour drive back feels long. Maya meets us in the apartment parking lot, and we go in. The apartment feels like home, but Ethan has classes. I find someone in my room despite locking it when Maya notices a picture frame and TV remote moved in the living room. My birthday pullover is gone, photos of us in a box are missing, dresser drawers are slightly open, desk papers are intermingled, and closet door is unfinished. Emily took my journal with my thoughts and relationship with Ethan, like she's gathering proof or trying to enter into our relationship by owning our possessions. Maya misplaced a scarf and a book she gave me. A keyed lock is purchased at a hardware shop after Lily says, "We're changing the lock on my bedroom door right now." My phone also automatically backs up all photographs and texts to a cloud account Emily doesn't know about, created by Lily using her own email. Even if Emily returns to my devices, she can't access anything. After changing my passwords to lengthy random sequences that Lily writes down and puts in her phone, she sets up 2-factor authentication to prevent Emily from accessing without my phone codes. Emily rocks my door frame at midnight while Lily is on the living room couch and Maya is in her room. She says she wanted to borrow some things and I need to stop acting like a victim. The pounding gets louder and I can hear her trying the doorknob over and over. She screams that this is her apartment too, and I can't lock her out. I grab my phone and text Lily that Emily is outside my door. Within seconds, I hear Lily's voice. Emily shouts that Lily has no right to be here and should mind her own business as the pounding continues and she kicks the door. I hear Lily on the phone, clearly saying the address and calling the police. Emily must hear this too, because she screams that I'll regret this and that I'm turning everyone against her. Emily tells Maya to stop up and that she's a traitor once she comes out of her room. I close my door and listen to Emily pacing in the corridor for 15 minutes, which feels like hours. Finally, loud authoritative voices ask questions. Lily allows the police in, and Emily has a weak voice and looks to be weeping. She tells the officer she's worried about me and wants my safety. Emily sits on the couch crying and apologizes for scaring me. 2 uniformed officers ask to talk to us individually. Maya shows her phone with her notes after I show him the police report from Ethan's campus, Emily's locations following us, her bogus text, and my ransacked room photos on my phone. The officer nods slowly as he reads Ethan's campus police report and says he's seen this tendency in stalking cases and Emily's behavior is growing and I should get a restraining order. He describes it and how to apply. The other officer returns and they whisper in the corridor. Emily nods and apologizes again. Emily is yelling on the phone as Lily makes tea and we sit in my room with the door closed. She says I'm trying to steal her guy and turning everyone against her. Lily made me a campus counselor appointment the next morning despite our poor sleep. Violet Parker listens without interrupting in the Student Health Center's soft-lit office with comfortable chairs and calls Emily's actions obsessive attachment and erotomania, explaining that some people fixate on unavailable others. Violet writes everything in a safety plan and tells me to change my class routes so Emily can't predict where I'll be. She also gives me campus security phone numbers and emergency contacts. She tells me to notify my professors and helps me find safe people on campus if I need help. She thinks Emily may intensify stalking now that police are involved. I meet Violet regularly and get her emergency contact information so I can call her if I'm in danger. Then I meet Olivia Grant, a free harassment lawyer, in a small conference room at the school legal aid office. She says I have a strong case for a civil restraining order and that the process would take weeks. First, we petition for a temporary order, then a judge decides if it becomes permanent. Olivia says a restraining order won't force Emily out of our apartment right away because the lease is complicated, but it will legally prohibit Emily from contacting me or coming near me. She warns me that many stalkers violate restraining orders and that I must document and report every violation, which can lead. Olivia clarifies every section and makes sure I include all the important details when I fill out the paperwork. We'll file this tomorrow, and Emily will receive the temporary order in a few days. That evening, Maya comes to my room and closes the door, looking tired and scared. She says she can't live here. She breaks her lease early and moves in with her girlfriend off campus. She feels guilty leaving me, but she doesn't feel safe with Emily here. I tell her I understand and am relieved she's leaving. She shouldn't have to deal with this. Maya says she'll still be around and we can meet for coffee anytime. She promises to testify for the restraining order. My stomach drops when Olivia writes me 3 days later that Emily has been served with the temporary restraining order. Emily will be furious, and the permanent order court date is 2 weeks away, and I have to explain everything before a judge. After 2 weeks of waiting and worrying about Emily's next move, I leave class early and walk to my apartment. Maya is gone and her room is unoccupied. Emily can't get near me, but we share walls and a kitchen. I lock myself in my room and can't study. Ethan calls to check on me again, and I tell him about the restraining order. He's proud of me and wants he could be here, but he has exams. I feel better after seeing his face on video chat, but 2 weeks feels like forever. The next day, I wake up to phone notifications and my stomach drops when I discover Emily posted 3 times since last night. She writes vague messages about fake friends and people who betray you when you need them most, how some people can't handle the truth and turn everyone against you instead of addressing their own issues, and a quote about loyalty, and how real friends stick together through everything. Everyone who knows us will understand. My hands tremble as I click through the comments and see people asking if she's okay, providing support, and assuring her they're here for her. She's already creating her own victim story. I put my phone down and attempt to focus on class, but my mind keeps racing. 3 people had asked about Emily and me before midday. One biology classmate writes a long text stating Emily told her I was jealous and controlling over her friendship with Ethan. I wonder how many will believe her before hearing my side. Another acquaintance asks if I'm trying to get Emily kicked out for nothing. Someone else heard I filed false reports to get attention. I feel sick reading these messages because Emily is lying, and some people believe her. I spend an hour writing responses with evidence and screenshots. In the face of proof, some apologize immediately. After I show them everything, my close friends rally around me, which helps, but I still feel alienated, knowing others think I'm crazy. Maya texts me that Emily has been posting in group chats, playing the victim and convincing people I overreacted to harmless jokes. I'm frustrated because no matter what evidence I show, some people will always believe Emily's version. That night Ethan calls me with a tight voice. I had a panic attack in economics class today when someone who looked like Emily passed me from behind. I couldn't breathe and had to leave. Now my professor thinks I'm skimming and my scores are plummeting since I can't study. After 2 hours, I reassure him that the restraining order will help and that she can't come near him legally, but I can hear his fear in his voice. He checks the parking lot before leaving his dorm and walks different routes to class each day. He can't sleep because he hears someone outside his door. Emily's harm to him, us, and our good relationship before she decided we belong to her is terrible. We resolve to chat every night and stay strong, but when we hang up, I weep because I don't know how much stress our relationship can handle. I return from afternoon class to find my bedroom door open, even though I closed it this morning with my key. My pulse racing as I enter and discover my room completely torn apart. Dresser drawers are out and clothes are everywhere. My desk is full of papers, my closet is devoid of hangers, and my laptop charger is gone. My grandmother's necklace, 2 rings, and my wall photographs of me and Ethan are missing. That Emily broke my lock, invaded my privacy, and stole my possessions makes this worse. Her scrawled message on my bed chills me. I phone the police immediately and request Officer Thompson, who knows our case, who arrives within 20 minutes. I shake my head as I describe what's missing and what the message says. He slowly walks through my room, taking photos from multiple angles and writing detailed notes about each item damaged or taken. He examines my door lock and points out scratches around the keyhole where Emily must have picked or forced it. He bags the note as evidence and labels it carefully, explaining that this is a clear and serious violation of the temporary restraining. Officer Thompson is kind and meticulous as I show him images on my phone of me wearing my grandmother's jewelry and document the laptop charger type and serial number from my purchase records. The procedure takes over an hour. While we wait for Emily, Officer Thompson can see the front door from the living room and says this violation, plus the burglary charges, bolster my case for the permanent restraining order. I hear keys in the lock at 6:30 that evening intensify. Emily goes in with shopping bags and appears astonished when she sees Officer Thompson, who announces himself and arrests her for restraining order violation and burglary. Emily opens her eyes and backs toward the door, but Officer Thompson quickly and professionally asks her to turn around and put her hands behind her back. Emily loses it and screams at me, saying I ruined her life, that I'm a selfish, horrible person who can't share anything, and that Ethan would have chosen her if I hadn't poisoned. As Officer Thompson handcuffs her and reads her rights, Emily screams that she'll never forgive me, that I destroyed everything, and that this is all my fault. Other officers search Emily's room with her permission, finding my laptop charger and some of the photos she took from my wall. They bag everything as evidence while Emily keeps crying and yelling about. The next day, Olivia calls to say Emily posted bond. I wanted her to stay in jail until the court hearing, but her parents paid to release her. Olivia says the judge changed the restraining order to prohibit Emily from returning to our apartment and from getting her things without police supervision, which she must arrange legally. Olivia says this is good for me because I won't have to see Emily around the apartment without officers. Since Emily is out on bail, she warns me that she may try to retaliate in other ways, so I need to stay alert and document everything. I'm relieved that Emily can't come back here, but I'm worried about what she might do next. People who violate restraining orders often do it again, and Emily has shown she doesn't care about legal consequences when. I meet with my landlord, Daniel Hayes, a middle-aged man with kind eyes, at his office the next morning to discuss my options. He listens carefully as I explain everything that happened and shows him the police reports, restraining order paperwork and photos of my ransacked room. He shakes his head and says he had no idea it had gotten this. Daniel carefully examines the agreement and explains that breaking it early costs 2 months' rent, but he's ready to make an exception due to the criminal charges and restraining order. I'm glad he can let me out of the lease early without penalty due to my safety and criminal history. He'll remove Emily's name from the lease since she's illegal. Daniel is understanding, saying he has a daughter in college and wants someone to help her. He gives me 30 days to find a new place and move out, and he'll handle the paperwork. That afternoon, I call my sister Lily to tell her about Daniel's offer to break the lease. She immediately offers to help me apartment hunt this weekend. Since I was dividing rent 3 ways before, most apartments near university are too expensive for me to afford alone. Lily discovers a modest studio apartment 15 minutes from campus that's available immediately with solid locks and key card access. Lily contacts our parents immediately and explains the situation. Within an hour, my mom calls back and says they'll cover the rent difference each month because my safety is more important than money. She sounds afraid and angry, but she just wants me safe. I thank her on the phone and weep because I don't want to beg for money, but I need to leave that apartment. We put down a deposit that day, and the landlord says I can move in next weekend. Having a plan and a safe place to go lets me breathe again. Olivia meets me at the courthouse and shows me what to expect. We sit in the hallway outside the courtroom waiting for our case, and my hands won't stop shaking. Olivia presents our evidence first, tracing Emily's behavior through photos, text messages, police reports, and witness statements. Emily won't look at me, but I can see her jaw clenched. The judge is an older woman who looks stern but fair. I testify about the lingerie incident, coming home to find my room ransacked, and Emily's fake text from my phone. My voice shakes, but I answer the judge's questions clearly. Emily's lawyer tries to make it sound like misunderstandings, like Emily was just a concerned friend caught up in drama. She alleges, I overreacted to roommate disagreements and Emily's mental instability makes her a victim. But the evidence is too powerful. Officer Thompson testifies credibly about the break-in and arrest. Judge carefully evaluates everything, asking difficult questions Emily's counsel tries to answer. She reclines in her chair and reads the final paperwork before speaking. She looks at Emily and me intently. She rests permanently based on police reports, witness testimony, and border infractions. The judge ordered Emily to stay 500 feet from me, Ethan, our campuses, and any other places we go. Any offense warrants immediate arrest and prosecution. Imagine holding my breath underwater for weeks and then surfaced. Emily's hatred of me is new. Emily watches me coldly as the judge speaks, like she's trying to remember or message me. Olivia gently touches my arm and suggests leaving by the side exit to avoid hallway conflict. While Emily consults her lawyer, we grab our paperwork and leave. I hear her say something harsh but can't tell. Early Saturday morning, Lily brings her truck full of boxes and cleaning supplies. Maya and her partner join us at my new studio apartment, and Ethan drives 1.5 hours to help me move. Leaving the old flat takes all day. Glad Emily isn't there, but I can tell she's been in my room again because a hair clip and desk photo are missing and items are rearranged. After giving up, I want to go. We load everything into the truck in Lily's car and drive twice to the studio, which is much smaller than expected. I breathe on the floor after unloading the last box and setting up my bed. Small fridge and 2-burner cooktop on countertop. The door and window locks are strong, but the bathroom is so small I can touch both walls. Keys are needed in buildings. Next to me, Ethan hugs my shoulders. I can relax for the first time in months without worrying about who might enter my home. I think my lockable compartment with eye control is its first safety. Maya orders pizza for everyone and we eat on the floor since I have no furniture. The first month at the new apartment is quiet until Emily breaks the restraining order twice. My first Tuesday morning class. Lily offers to help me find cheap thrift store items next weekend. She watches me from the bike racks 40 feet away as I cross campus to the science building. I photograph her on my phone after freezing. She leaves after seeing me, but I call campus police. Officer Thompson noted 40 feet within 500 feet. His promise is to notify Emily's probation officer. A fake social media profile sends me a friend request after 2 weeks. My laptop photo of Ethan Emily is the profile picture for the 3-day-old unposted account. Just thinking of you both. I screenshot everything before closing the account and emailing Officer Thompson, who emails Emily's lawyer and warns him that further infractions may result in jail time instead of probation. Olivia says judges take restraining order violations seriously, especially patterns. I record violations to support the case in court. Ethan is afraid to visit my new house, so we video chat 3 or 4 times a week. He thinks Emily is watching my flat and following him. I sympathize, but distance is too great. We discuss our fears and needs on calls instead of weekends. After Emily's dorm arrival scared him more than ever, Ethan still has trouble sleeping. He learns about my therapy and Violet's support. Travel and other things we couldn't focus on before are planned when it's safer. Distance is difficult, but we're communicating better than when he visited often. Being honest about our worries instead of pretending everything is fine brings us closer, despite being 1.5 hours apart. For stalking trauma treatment, I see Violet weekly. Violet thinks stalkers push boundaries, making victims doubt themselves. I kept blaming myself for not setting boundaries sooner, not taking early warning signals seriously, and being too polite and making Emily think we were closer. I was wrong to think a roommate's joke about our relationship would lead to a break-in and identity theft. Emily turned a lovely thing into dread, and I'm angry. I'm mad she made Ethan ignore me and read my emails, texts, and photos. Violet says my anger is justified. Olivia calls me 3 months after the restraining order with Emily's criminal case news. The sessions are exhausting but helpful. Emily accepted probation instead of jail time for my restraining order violation and room burglary charges, but she must see an obsessive-compulsive therapist twice a week and show her probation officer she's following therapy. More importantly, she promised to switch schools next semester. Olivia says the prosecution needed the transfer requirement because Emily on my campus could accidentally break the restraining order again. Olivia says plea agreements don't indicate accountability or change of mind. Emily may have accepted these restrictions to avoid incarceration, not because she knows her mistake. I must remain vigilant and document suspicious activity. Olivia's announcement that Emily would be on a different campus next semester makes me almost cry. I won't have to worry about running into her in class or at school events, looking over my shoulder, or changing routes to avoid her. In our next therapy session, Violet tells me that stalking victims often remain hypervigilant after the threat ends. She says my brain has been ready for months for the next infraction or conflict. I still check my shoulder and my heart rate jumps when I see someone with Emily's body or hair color on my way to class. Last week, I saw a girl in an Emily-like outfit and worried before realizing it wasn't her. Even though Emily is hours away, she helps me ground myself and convince myself that the threat is over when fear strikes. We'll spend a weekend at my new flat in early spring, making breakfast and watching movies on my laptop in my small kitchen. We don't feel followed or unexpectedly visited. Being near him without apprehension is strange. We discuss his graduate school applications, my next semester plans, seeing his family over summer break, and possibly traveling. Every time we're together, I realize how stressed I've been, and how much I've been preparing for anything unpleasant. Ethan says he's kept an eye out for Emily, but she doesn't answer my door or leave strange messages. We reconnect over the weekend and remember why we worked together. Ethan left Sunday night, but he'll return in 2 weeks. Maya and I drink coffee weekly between our flats. I lived with Emily and saw her every day, but I didn't know her obsession was dangerous until it was out of control. I don't blame her for not telling me about Emily's terrible activities earlier. Maya says she's been anxious since everything happened and feels bad for not protecting me as a friend, but she recorded Emily's behavior, joined me at Ethan's college, testified at the restraining order hearing, and helped me move. We discuss how we both learned the harsh lesson that appearance doesn't always indicate danger. Emily was passionate and normal after her separation. We normalized scary behaviors because the ascent was gradual, and we reconciled after overcoming something scary. Maya lived those months. I join a college stalking harassment support group every other week in a counseling center private room with 6 to 7 women and some men. Other stories relieve my loneliness. Several people say their stalkers first appeared normal. A man says one group activity captivated a classmate. Gradual escalation made people doubt their opinions. Everyone in the group feels guilty. I should have acted sooner. The group facilitator says stalkers are good manipulators who gradually push boundaries. They cause victims to distrust reality and intuition. Learning and healing from others' experiences and recovery will help me feel normal again and reduce hypervigilance and terror until their memories. I submit assignments on time and check them twice because Emily doesn't read my emails or track me. My biology professor doesn't penalize late lab reports after I told her early in the semester. I went from C to B by finals week, passed my chemistry midterm, which I feared I would fail, and my advisor says I'm on track for my degree. I can now sit at the library without checking the door or my phone every 5 minutes to see if Emily has bypassed my new security settings. Opening my laptop no longer shake. Ethan books a hotel in a new place 3 weeks before our anniversary so Emily won't show up 4 hours away where nobody knows us. We drive there on Friday afternoons with the windows down and music. After months, I feel like a college student on vacation with her sweetheart. We explore downtown stores and restaurants without me looking. A small Italian restaurant serves dinner, and the waiter doesn't ask why I keep my phone face down on the table, or stiffen up when someone walks by. Ethan hugs me that night in the hotel room as we discuss how close we were to breaking up and how Emily almost destroyed our relationship. He praises my handling of things, getting the restraining order, leaving, and persevering when. My roommate's obsession terrified him in his dorm. We promise not to let fear rule our actions anymore, and trust our relationship can handle anything. In line at the campus coffee shop, 2 women discussed a stalker arrested last semester. Later that week, Maya tells me that a mutual acquaintance told her Emily is going to therapy twice a week for probation and enrolling at a 3-hour-away school for the spring semester. I should be happy, but I'm afraid. Since therapy won't fix what made her obsess about Ethan, I only share my location with trusted friends and check my bedroom door lock every night before bed. Violet tells me that Emily's rehabilitation isn't my responsibility, and that I can wish her well while setting limits. Completed her psychology degree and was accepted into a trauma treatment program. After helping me through the stalker issue, she wants to help others with similar safety and trust violations. Watching me heal and navigate the judicial system reminded her how much people need champions who understand. Lily says I was braver than I thought. That most people don't recognize stalking until it's dangerous, and that I stopped Emily before she escalated. 6 months after Emily moved to her new school, I walked to my morning class without looking behind me or searching crowds for her face. With my shoulders relaxed, I don't startle when someone approaches me from behind in the library or dining hall. Violet and I meet every other week because mending isn't linear. I still worry about Emily following me and am nervous about exams and assignments. I yell with joy in the student center when Ethan calls to say he was accepted to a PhD program 30 minutes from mine. He'll move closer next autumn, and we can finally have regular dates without the 1.5-hour commute. We video call that night to discuss apartment SE. We'll see each other weekly instead of every few weeks. He's excited to live without Emily. I want to cook him dinner in my flat without worrying about breaking in, walk without checking for followers, and live together without trauma threatening everything. I've changed since I laughed off Emily calling Ethan, our boyfriend, a joke. Kindness and hospitality don't mean embracing unpleasant behavior. I learned that protecting myself isn't selfish, and that I don't owe someone access to my space or relationship just because we share an apartment or they're struggling. School security ignored my concerns, but I documented everything and built a case until people took me seriously. My studio unit met my needs. Nothing was touched, taken, or stolen. I learned to follow my instincts when something seems wrong instead of rationalizing my discomfort to avoid conflict. Our weekend cooking sessions will be in my modest kitchen, which has posters, plants, and photos of trusted people. A chain lock makes me feel safe at night when I'm home alone. Maya comes over for movie nights, and we joke about everyday things instead of behavior or safety. Emily strengthened my relationship with Ethan by discussing fear, limits, and trust. We stayed together when it would have been easier to go, and my support system respects my space and decisions. 6 months ago, I didn't think I'd feel this good again.